Hi, my name is Daniel Moore. As a Senior Solutions Architect with Click, I'm proud to present the credit risk application. In the next 8 minutes, I'll provide an overview, then dive into how the app might be used in the real world on an iPad. Let's get started by navigating to demo.clickview.com. On this site, you'll find around 100 different applications showing ClickView in action, providing users the answers to the next business intelligence question. You can download and customize many of these apps for your own unique business purpose. Let's click on Industry Focus, Financial Services, and then Credit Risk Management. Any organization that needs to manage a credit risk portfolio can download this application and just repoint it to their own data by clicking on Download. Now, let's launch the demo. Like many well-designed applications, you'll notice the tabs across the top, starting with the Introductory tab. Let's drill down deeper by clicking on Concentration Analysis. Here, you'll see your entire customer base divided into marketing segments, the people managing the business, and the overall markets. Let's start by clicking on Americas. Now, let's drill further by going to the correlation analysis. Here on this tab, you can see a 3D scatter plot, and you can customize this by pointing to whichever metrics make the most sense for managing your own business. Here I'm going to click on current exposure, but you could easily change that and look at economic capital as well. You can also drill down to see your probability of default analysis on the next tab. We'll cover this on another video, so stay tuned. On the next tab, the comparison tab, you can see since we've chosen the Americas, it's showing the Americas versus the overall portfolio. You can also do what-if analysis. Here on the next tab, we're showing a capital allocation. You could easily change the allocation by clicking and just typing in a new percentage. Finally, the last tab is called Ad Hoc. Here you could do any sort of reporting that you'd like, let's say regions, countries, and sectors, and compare that to various measures. You could change the order of these columns on the fly. You could also see a pivot table or a data table, and you could even download this to Excel on your desktop for further analysis. Now that you've seen an overview of the app, let's take a look at how it looks on an iPad. We'll look at this app from the perspective of 3 job functions: a credit analyst, the gas pedal of the organization, a risk analyst, the brake pedal, and lastly, as bank management. This screen provides an overview of the bank's entire credit portfolio. Here you can see which customers are risky, the probability of default are 6 or 7, those with underutilized credit lines, and those overdrawn against their credit lines. First, let's consider the job function of the credit analyst. The credit analyst is like the gas pedal at the bank. They are trying to get the largest returns for the bank's invested capital. Now, I will show how the analyst uses this ClickView app to improve the bank's return on equity. At regulated institutions, an unutilized line of credit equates to a wasted opportunity since reserves must be set aside as if customers are fully utilizing their credit lines. Take a look at the return on equity. Currently, it stands at 5.9%. Now let's see how that changes when we select customers that have unutilized credit lines. You can see that number goes to a pitifully low 1.2%. For this reason, the credit analyst would like customers to fully reach their credit lines. For underutilizing customers, the analyst would like them to borrow more, or the analyst could lower their credit lines to something closer to the customer's true return capital requirements. By scrolling down, we can see that there are literally hundreds of customers that fall into this bucket. Since it would take months to address these companies individually, the credit analyst would like to take a more practical approach. That is, go after the customers with the highest underutilized lines of credit in dollars. Let's click on the underutilized credit and select a few outliers. We can see that still represents an unutilized line of credit of nearly $1 billion. and unutilized credit lines. What I just showed is how QlikView helps the credit analyst to step on the gas and more quickly improve the bank's profitability. Now let's take a look at the brake pedal function at the bank, the risk analyst. I'm about to show how QlikView can help the analyst not only identify risky customers, but focus on those that are the most unprofitable for the bank. The risk analysts generally focus on the clients that are high probability default, namely the 6 or the 7s. But again, these represent way too many customers to go after all at once. Instead, she can zoom in on those that are unprofitable. So she'll click on Return on Assets, and then select a handful that are unprofitable. Here you can still see that that represents an exposure of over $1 billion, and you can see that the return on equity for this bad group for the bank is 1.1%. She can now go after these individually by looking at the list below, or simply scroll over each customer individually. So as you've seen, QlikView has helped the brake pedal, the risk analyst, by focusing on the underperformers who are the most harmful to the bank. Finally, I want to show how bank management would use this credit risk application. The management cares about improving the portfolio and becoming more competitive. They can at any point do their what-if analysis. Let me click on what if. You'll see that the portfolio shoots up to a return on equity of 6.7% by taking away those unprofitable customers versus the overall portfolio of 5.9%. To see how the bank is performing against its peers, the manager can click on the target icon. You can see we're gaining against the competition with our 6.7 against the competition's 7.5. However, there's still a ways to go to reach the target. You can see how using this QlikView application, the management is able to better improve the performance of the bank versus its competitors. What I've showed you is a brief overview of the credit risk application. QlikView apps are infinitely customizable, allowing you to add additional data sources or change the app completely to meet your unique requirements. Visit QlikView.com or contact your sales rep to learn if QlikView is the right platform for your organization. This has been Senior Solutions Architect Daniel Moore presenting the QlikView Credit Risk Application.